Well, thank you for having me. I've been covering all your podcasts, and you create a lot of underground water, and I think it's fantastic. So whenever you ask me to come here, for very flattered, and I could not take up with the opportunity. So
Appreciate that,
thank
brother.
you, thank you a lot.
So people who don't know you, you are Carlos.
Okay,
We met by surprise like a couple of months ago.
by destiny, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I really loved your resume and everything that you did in your life. We have like kind of the same background. We're gonna speak about
Okay.
that in this video too. But tell the people like who you are in the beginning.
Who I am? I'm just a normal guy. I'm an immigrant, but I live here in the United States. My name is Carlos Hernandez. When I was 14 years old, my family took the courage to relocate to the United States from Leon, Nicaragua. That's where I'm from. And I was just a young guy trying to look for my place in the world. And I discovered the United States Marine Corps right before graduating high school. And I really like everything about it. The recruiters do a really good job at staying sharp, looking clean, and they give a good representation of Americans to the general public. So if you see a Marine, a special recruiter or drill instructor, they're the highest standards of what it means to be an American and a military soldier, if you will. They're Marines. They're not soldiers. They don't like to be called soldiers, so you call them Marines. I was 17 years old when I first came across my recruiter. He helped me out to the whole enlistment process, and it took a little bit over 6 months, but I was able to be accepted, and I deployed in 2015. I was an artillery cannoneer. I also helped recon with a couple of missions because recon always needs backup, and it was really fun. After that, I completed 2 more deployments, and then I got out and I started living a better life. I think so. If you're a young guy between 17 to 18 years old, maybe a little bit older, and you don't know what you probably want, I recommend the Marine Corps as a good foundation to begin your life.
And you have a YouTube channel. It's called Cardio with Carlos.
Yeah, so I created this YouTube channel. It's called Cardio with Carlos, and it's just a message to the people. So I didn't want to say I'm a Marine, I'm a student here or anything like that. I just wanted to share something that was mine, it was personal, and I wanted to contribute to the people. And if they want to know more questions, they can just ask me.
Amazing. We will put a link for YouTube channel in that video.
Really appreciate you, man. That's really cool.
So Carlos and I talk a lot about Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate and what they represent. There is things we love, there are things that we don't love about them. So we choose today 5 rules about Andrew and Tristan Tate.
Yeah, yeah.
So you ready to begin?
I'm ready to begin.
Let's start with the first one.
There's a beautiful poem, and I don't know it word for word, but he said, "Stress is mine, happiness is yours. Pain is mine, joy is yours. But you are mine. I suffer, and you get the good side of my suffering, but you're mine." And that's the masculine essence in the first place. I mean, look at Christmas Day. Dad gets the worst presents. He gives the presents.
He gets a time.
That's right. That's what men are supposed to do. And that's why we work all year long.
What do you think about that video?
I think that's a good representation of men, and that masculine role is very traditional of, I'll take responsibility on myself so you don't have to worry about it later. I would do the dishes so your hands are clean. So I really like what he's saying right here. He's taking responsibility and inviting other men to take that responsibility as well.
You think this is the way of the man?
Yeah, I think that's a way to be a man. There's many ways to be a good man. Of course, this is what he believes is the right thing to be a man and how he wants to portray himself or what a man should be like. But it's totally acceptable what he just said.
Yeah, I really believe in that because I always think men need to suffer that the people that next to them will not suffer.
There's this beautiful saying in the Marine is through pain comes, through pain is weakness, live in the body. So what does that mean? So men has to embrace all aspects of life, happiness, sorrow, lethargic, everything, so then he can appreciate and allow others to benefit off of that. What do I mean by that? So, for example, I would never know what a kid's laughter means if I haven't suffered myself. So, for example, when I see a kid laughing and playing around, it reminds me when I was in Nicaragua and I was suffering. I didn't have shoes. I was playing in the streets. I was always dirty. So I think that's what he's getting at. Of my pain makes all other aspects of the world a little bit more beautiful, because it's like a balance between light and dark.
You feel that your experience as a child in Nicaragua is like change your perspective about life?
Yeah, it makes me a little more appreciative. Not saying that people who has had a good childhood or a better, more easy childhood cannot appreciate the small little details in life. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
for me personally, it has grained all those. It has magnified the beauty of that other people has.
That's true.
Yeah.
This is one of the reasons that you decided to join to the Marines?
Well, I decided to join the Marines for selfish reason. I'm not gonna say I joined because of land and pride. Those things are true, but I think I just wanted some sort of adventure as a kid. I never had it, so I went out there and searching for myself.
That's true, yeah.
Why did you join?
To the army?
Yeah,
When I was like in Israel, you have to go to the army.
correct, but I'm sure you wanted to.
Yeah. I wanted to join to the army because I understand that no one can defend my country beside me in that moment. Like our generation, our turn. Like every generation got his own time to go and provide and protect. And this is what I learned about that. Like when I was in Gaza, in Lebanon, in all around the country, I felt like I am the protector of my family. This is my time to be there, because Gaza is like 25 minutes drive from the place I grew up. And when you think about that, in the 7th of October, it was really close to there. So you understand that if you will not do that, who will do it for you?
Exactly. Yeah. I think that speaks highly of your personality, and also good family, good values. So,
Yeah, I think it's come a lot from my house, from my home, from my family. Two of my sisters, they are officers in the army. My youngest brother is in special forces too.
Okay.
They always push us. Like if you decide to do something, be the best.
yeah, always try to be the best
Yeah,
at what you do. So I completely agree with you on that. Yeah.
that's the way of life, in my opinion. Like if you do something, be the best that you can be.
What's something that you think will make you the best? Like what's your drive?
My drive about life is to change the world, like to
Nice.
make something better and to provide and protect and build my future family.
Okay.
But I always say to people, if you want to be the best, you can't give up. You like need to build the most important relationship in your life is the relationship with yourself. And to be loyal to yourself is to be with self-discipline. When your self-discipline will be so strong, you will never stop. And this is the meaning. Like if you will do something 18 minutes a day for all year, every day, you will be better than 95% of the people that do that.
That's
So if I
correct.
will do every day 10 hours something that I really want to do, I will do better than 99% of the people.
That's funny that you said you got to think of yourself first, and thinking about yourself is probably the most selfless reason ever. But what do I mean by that? Because the only person that you owe anything is, there's two people actually. It's not God, it's not your daughter, it's not your spouse. I think the most important people in your life, it's gotta be your 8-year-old self and your 80-year-old self. I think those are the only two people that you owe the most. Or do you owe anything in particular?
Yeah, I agree. Ready
Yeah.
for the next one?
I'm ready for the next one.
had a guy I really liked who started being a dickhead, I'd try very hard to fix him. And if I couldn't fix him, I wouldn't be his friend anymore. I'd say, stop that. We don't do that. Why are you doing that? What are you crying about again? Come on, let's go train. I don't want to train. We always train. Come on, let's go. And then after a while, I'd be like, he doesn't train anymore. Get him out. Go get eaten by wolves. That's the unfortunate reality of the world, because I'm the sum of the 5 people I spend the most time with. I don't want to wake up one day feeling terrible and going, but he's missing the day and I might miss the day. His poison will get in my brain. I have to resist it.
You come from a background of friendship in the army. You know what is friendship. What do you think about that video?
What I was thinking when I saw when I see him and the way he expresses himself, the words that he uses, is that he wants to surround himself with good, actually kind-hearted people. Good, kind-hearted people are the hardest people, the most nurturing people, and they also have a sensitive side. But they also push themselves to the limit, and they understand, again, through pain comes very disciplined people, and that's who he wants to be around with. And that should be a message for the entire world. Honestly, you should surround yourself with people who add value to your life.
Yeah, I agree about that. In my opinion, this is one of the most important things, because if you will hang out with 5 stupid, you will be the 6th. If you will hang out with 5 loser, you will be the 6th. If you will hang out with 5 ambition people, you will be the 6th. If you will hang out with 5 billionaires, you will be the 6th. I always think that it's really true about life, because the people that next to you, they show who you are and they will take you to success. Like, if you want to be successful, you cannot hang out with losers that do drugs all day long and smoke weed or whatever. If you want to be successful, you need to be with people that work hard as possible.
That's funny that you say people who uses drugs and all these type of things, and he uses the word dickheads. So whenever you hear the word dickhead, your brain naturally goes to, oh, these people who do drugs, they don't take care of themselves. They expect things to be handed to them.
Yeah.
So, and you also spoke about being their 6th. When I heard you say that, I thought you meant like having their back. So because if you have somebody 6th, you have their back. So I think he doesn't want to have somebody's back who is lazy, who is ignorant. So I think that's where Andrew is getting at with that.
You will not choose friends for life that will not value and ambition like you. Like, you cannot hang out with people that say fuck about a lot of things in life, because for you it's important. And if you still decide to hang out with them, there is 2 options. Or it will collapse and the friendship is gone, or you will change and be like them.
Yeah. Yeah, you become the average of the people that you hang out with.
Yeah.
I agree with that. So that's why I hang out with you, man.
No, my brother.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. And to seize and catch great people next to you, that's important.
Yeah, that's the most important thing in life. People you hang out with, the partner you choose, how you raise your children, and because those are the people that are the most around you. So I think there's a lot of value in that, and I think that's where Andrew was getting on.
In the same moment, you don't need to be afraid to say goodbye for the friends that will not be there for the reason a season friend. Because when you are in high school, you get great friends that now you maybe didn't stay in touch, maybe on Instagram.
Yeah.
But beside that, you don't have touch with them, and that's okay. In the moment that you will understand they are for a season, it's like friends for a season. Even in the college, friends for a season. Now you feel that they are your best friends in the world, but you have different dreams. So 5 years from now, when everyone will chase after the dreams, will be different.
Yeah. For example, I don't talk to many people that I met in high school. Like as great friends, there's entrepreneurs. I have friends who are great salesmen. Some people even turn out to become artists. But again, I'm not an artist. I'm not a salesman. So obviously, I have not turned out to be kind of like them. And that's good for them and it's good for me. But the people that you surround with have to be something that you want to do and always add a little bit of value to where you want to become each day.
Yeah, different perspective about life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Ready for the next one?
I'm ready for the next one.
Yes, absolutely. I love everyone more than myself. I love my children more than I love myself. I would die for my brother. I would die for my mother. I love a bunch of people more than myself. In fact, my entire life is putting people above me, putting other people's happiness above me. I believe that's what men do. When you're a man, you're responsible for other people's physical and emotional happiness, of course. I wake up every day and work so that other people can enjoy the fruits of my labor. That's all I do. Every single person I love, in many ways, I love more than I love myself.
What do you think?
Maybe it's true. I don't think he's lying about that, but I think you should love yourself first, then other people after. But again, that goes back to the whole thing that he wants to be a good leader, and good leaders put others in front of them.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's video, in the first time I saw him, it showed me why I appreciate Andrew Tate, because he always say, we are as a man, we need to provide and protect. Like, I will sacrifice my life. This is what my father did. He sacrificed his dream to provide and protect the family. And for me, it's like amazing, because I grew up with everything that I ever needed, to be successful. My sisters, my brother, all of us got whatever we need. And I agree. You feel that too. You was ready to die for your brothers in the army. You was ready to die for your mom 24/7. You was ready to die for your country. Like, if you're ready for die for your country and for all that, you represent something strong and bigger than yourself.
Correct.
This is why I always say, if your why in life will be bigger than yourself, like, you don't do it for yourself, you do it for something bigger than yourself, it will last forever.
No, here's the crazy is that I don't have a death wish. I really don't. But if I can lose my life saving somebody else that I don't even know, that's a win for me. I feel like, and then just gonna come down like, oh, you sacrifice yourself for somebody, you automatically go to heaven. That sounds a little selfish on my part, but that's kind of the selfish things I do. I would give my life to go to heaven so I can save somebody on earth.
Yeah. Yeah, I always say that if there is terror attack right now, I will run towards the terrorist and try to take him down, and all the other people will run from the terrorist.
That's interesting, yeah.
I will try to take that guy.
Very similar. So a couple years back, there's always this national threat of having a draft.
Yeah.
I just always tell people, if there is always a draft and you're a man, why wouldn't you just go?
Yeah.
Yeah, just enlist, volunteer. I mean, you gotta think about it. There's 18-year-olds getting drafted, and I would have the courage to be like, hey, you know what, 18-year-old, I've done this before. Let's go in together.
Yeah. What do you think about it? You feel like it's right to do that?
I think that's my duty in life. I mean, my father died before I met him in war, so I think it's kind of in the blood, but that's just my personal opinion. That's what I would do for somebody, or for my country, or for, I know I said this before, I would do it selfishly for me because I want that adrenaline, but it's a good selfish reason. Of all selfish things to do, I think this is one of the most acceptable ones.
Yeah, and we can say that this is a good way to be selfish about life.
Yeah. Be selfish, but in a good way.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you're not, I think selfish is not a bad word, like addiction.
Yeah.
It's not a bad word if you add it for something good.
Okay.
Like, if you have addiction to be successful, if you have addiction to achievement, if you have addiction to the gym, for me, in my opinion, it's good.
That's a good addiction to have, yeah. Everything in moderation is good. I always say it, I always tell people that. In moderation, you can do a little bit of everything. Like a sip of whiskey here and there, that's totally fine. I'm not against it.
But so addiction, when you add drugs, alcohol, pornography, or whatever, it's bad.
Yeah, I mean, everything in moderation is acceptable.
Yeah. Ready for the next one?
Yes, sir.
people think being in love is holding hands and I hold hands and we cuddle in bed, I love them. Love is the whole spectrum. Love is missing them, love is breaking up with them, love is being sad they don't text you. Love is the whole circle. There's no up without down. Anything that has the ability to emotionally affect you positively has the ability to emotionally affect you negatively. There's nothing in the world that can only affect you in one direction.
That is interesting. There's a lot of things in the world that can affect you in different ways, you know. I think the whole idea of holding hands and kisses, that idea of love that Andrew is describing is it's not a false idea, but I think it's a overstimulated idea that society uses to make you spend money. For example, Christmas. I think people created Christmas to elevate profit sales on some type of way when love is actually just you and me, or actually putting your life in line for your family. I think that's love as well, because it can impact you negatively because you can die.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's still love.
I think love is the most strongest emotion in the world.
Because I think it includes a lot of facets of emotions, like negative and bad. So I think that's why love is so fucking powerful.
Interesting. Dive into that a little bit more.
So, like I said before, through suffering comes more appreciation of things. And to me, that's becoming love. That's becoming in love with yourself, not in a narcissistic way, but the more great things that you do selflessly, it increase your ability to be nurturing to somebody else.
I love that. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, and I fully agree about that, because it's easy to say I love you. It's hard to show that I love you. It's easy to speak. It's hard to do action. It's easy to dream. It's hard to act. You can always say, my dream is to be, I don't know what, businessman that can influence the world. What is your action that you're doing right now that lead you to be that guy that you want to be? And the same in love. I want to love some girl unconditionally. What is my action that I'm doing right now to find the right girl?
Correct. Okay.
And I think today, with all the Tinder, Instagram, all the social media, that people always run towards the apps, the dating apps, and try to find their love, I think there is missing part. Because the strongest thing in the world is like when you out with your friend and you get like, you see girls that you, wow, she look like my dream girl. And you have the butterfly inside your stomach and you try to reach out to her and you like go outside from your comfort zone. And then you did it, then you get the number, and then everything began again. Like everything is like beginning, the first date. And it's more strong because today people like swipe in, swipe off, and it's easy.
It's an easier.
I don't like the easy way. I like the hard way because this is the right way.
I think you can also fall in love with your personality more when you go out of your comfort zone to be like approach the guy that you think is out of your league. So the more repetitions of that, not just for women, but business as well. So you start a company, it crashes down, and you get back and do it again. That resilience creates self-love as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree about that.
Yeah.
And the same moment, when you meet someone from dating apps, I think you fell in love in the picture before you fell in love in the personality. Of course, when you date, when you go to find a girl and you go outside your comfort zone and you want to reach out for a number, you need to love how she look like. This is the beginning of everything. But in the same moment, when you see only picture, you fell in love in the picture, you fell in love in the image. You think that girl maybe can be my dream girl. But in the basic needs, if you saw her in the bar, maybe she was like drunk on the floor and you say, even she's beautiful, I can't date her.
Okay. Yeah, I think the first thing you gotta do when you see yourself in that situation is ask why. I think the why is more important. Why do I like this girl? Why do I wanna send her a text? Why? So I think you gotta fall in love with the why first instead
Yeah.
of the actual photo, like you said.
But then in the moment that you decide that you want to date that number girl, you have 5 seconds to react. This is my rule. If you see a girl that you want, you have 5 seconds, because after 5 seconds, you will start think twice. And you
Yeah.
will start to be afraid. And then it will be harder for you to go outside your comfort zone. So if you see a girl, remember your rule, 5 second rule.
Well, I don't have to worry about that
Yeah,
ever
you're
again.
already.
I'm all set for life. But I get what you're saying, and start asking the why. If you're a young male or female, scared to talk to that person, just ask yourself, why do I want to talk to this person? And once you really ask yourself that and you find a real answer, you will not be afraid anymore.
You gave me another question to ask you. You're speaking about why.
Yeah.
What was your why when you joined to the military, to the Marine?
My why, I really don't know because I wanted some excitement in my life. I was living with my parents when when I was 17 years old and just recently graduated high school. So I think it was because I wanted to see the world and discover myself in the process. But later on, I learned that the father that I never met died in war before I met him. And I learned this when I was 22 years old. My mom was in tears, and I saw my mother in tears. I said, "Well, why are you crying?" I gotta tell you something. This was after my first deployment, and she told me about him. And then I thought, "Oh, it makes sense. It makes sense who I am." Like I never questioned myself ever again, and I knew that my heart has dictated me without me even knowing or realizing it, dictating a path for me that it was written all over my path and my future. I think that's the will of God.
Strong, brother. That's
That-
strong.
Yeah,
That's really strong. Now you know what is your why.
that is my why. That's why I joined,
Yeah.
because that's who I am at my core. I'm a protector. I try to be a provider, and I'm a selfish, protecting individual.
Yeah. No, I think that you are doing a great job in that. Yeah.
Thank you, man. Likewise. Thank you for keeping that side of the Eastern Conference for us safe.
Yeah. Your fiance really got luck in life.
I'm the lucky one, man. Have you seen her?
I love that.
Yeah, she has beautiful green eyes. Want to go to the next?
Ready for the next?
Nah, I'm ready. This is fun.
You get exciting.
I don't think you can get burned out when you're younger. I think if you are young and you're strong and you're fit, go and work on an oil rig, go work on an Alaskan fishing vessel. Do something crazy. Yeah, it's dangerous. Yeah, it's hard. However, these people are making, $100, $150, $200 an hour in a lot of cases. Why not do that instead of something comfortable? You're in your 20s, you're invincible.
When you're in your 20s, you're invincible. I like that, yeah. But I think when you're in your 30s and you did a lot of great stuff in your 20s. You went out of your comfort zone in your 20s. Now you're 30. You have discipline, and you got knowledge. Not only that, but you got experience, and with that, life is better for you. But yeah, I think when I joined when I was 18, 17 years old, and I think that's what you should do. You should try to figure out if you can do it, if you cannot do it. What are your thoughts?
This is one of the reasons that we went to the army, man. We want to suffer. I want to suffer.
Yeah, we secretly do. We
Yeah.
secretly do want to suffer.
And it's built us. Like, I think one of the biggest reasons is who we are right now is because the experience that we have been through in the military, in the army, in the Marines and whatever. And this is build us and give us the courage to achieve. Like, nothing can hurt for us. Like, you was ready to die for your country. You got the biggest why in the world. And if you was ready to sacrifice for life, your life for the country, you will not sacrifice everything, like your time, money, whatever, to achieve your dreams and your goals. It's like now the game is not about your life because your life is not in danger anymore. You was ready to play about your life.
Yeah.
Now, if you have your dream, you have your goals, you tell me that money and time is worth less than your life and you're not able to do everything to achieve that. This is the biggest problem for me with people that gave up all day long. They don't want to achieve nothing in life because they're afraid to waste some money or afraid to waste time. But we was really tired, man.
Well, that's you get into a tricky topic on that because there's people who has to prioritize making money first, depending on where they come from. For example, I come from a third world country, so you don't have the luxury to follow your dreams. You gotta go for the money sometimes, and that is those type of individuals are equally as good leaders as us because they give up their dreams to elevate the life of for their future generations. So I think these people are also very brave in a sense.
Yeah, but if you're gonna chase after money, let's say you need 5 grand a month to live. After you get the 5 grand a month, what you gonna do next? And in the same moment, if you're gonna work, you have more time. If you want to do something, you will free the time. Let's say you work 10 hours a day to get the money that you need for living for you and for your family. Then you have more 14 hours a day to achieve whatever you want. Sleep 6 hours or sleep faster, sleep 5 hours. And you have more like 9 hours, 8 hours, 7 hours to work about your dream. I don't think there's excuses about money beside a dream. Like I have a why in my life and I know that I need money to live, but in the same moment I know that I would prefer not to sleep to achieve that dream because one day you will be a father and you will want to tell your son, do everything
Do everything you want. Yeah.
and not give up. And if you gave up in your life, how you can do that? How you can tell your son?
That's correct. I think you bring a really valuable part of including children into this because I would love my children to follow their passion and not have to think about how much it's gonna cost them, you know. So I think you're right. Like a man has to be able to provide those experiences for their kids because it's more important. My kids following their dream is more important than me following my own dream, if that makes sense. And that's a sign of heroism as well, and it's its own sense.
That shows how strong and how amazing you are, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's real love because although I'm not completely happy, I know that somebody else is gonna be happy off of it, and that's real love.
I love that.
Yeah.
So for the end,
give
me and give the people the best advice for life that they can give.
The best advice. I think I told you this advice when I first met you. My best advice is eat well, sleep well, and do something happy. Do something that makes you truly happy. Follow your dreams, and have no regrets.
That's strong, man.
Be strong.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I love you, brother.
Love you.
Yeah.
Thank you
This
for
was
having me.
amazing.
This was great. Hopefully we can do another one of these again.
I will have to. I learned a lot, and I hope so that people that watch us learn a lot too.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friend.
Love listening from you.